It is the RIOT podcast where Nikki finally unveils her true feelings about beef jerky.
We do a RIOT food fight thanks to Bailey. She was kind enough to send us some of the Sweet Baby Ray's beef jerky, and we do that for a food fight in this podcast.
We also talk about Will Smith's musical number in Aladdin. We talk about some...
Were we too mean on that, do you think, or not mean enough?
I'll just tell you what you hear in this is me holding back.
I know.
So, I mean, I can't...
I don't want to be too mean because, like, if you want to see Aladdin, that's great.
Fine.
Like, that's perfectly fine. I'm just surprised that Disney is the one putting out this Aladdin. I feel like normally they're more on top of it, and I feel like it just doesn't reflect. I don't even feel like Dumbo, and I never saw it, but even the Dumbo movie, I feel like they were both kind of misses for
Dumbo was a bit of a miss, though I look at that and that looked like something that should have worked. Mm-hmm. People just didn't seem to go for it.
Well, it was a bit of a it was the wrong audience I think it was made for.
Yes, Aladdin to me, and I mean some of this is in the talk later, but when I look at it just objectively, not trying to pile on, not trying to hate, whatever, but just as someone that, I mean, does the lowest end of production, I look at that and go, this doesn't look good enough for the quality of people that are creating it.
Yes, it's just weird.
Even to me, I look at that and go, Will Smith is better than this. Mm-hmm. Like, what's happening that they are not capturing Will Smith? And, like, it just, something.
I don't know, but we're going to talk about it some more,
yeah,
okay?
Right.
So get ready to listen to it all over again.
We also talk about Jesus, but in virtual reality.
I love that one. And how can you get an Oculus Rift?
How can you make it happen? Stranger Things Legos. We got a food fight with some barbecue beef jerky. I think we already said that. New wrestling for Nikki. And Tim Horton's goes vegan.
That's it.
So you guys have a fantastic day. Enjoy our podcast.
Thank you so much for listening.
We appreciate you. Bye.
Obadiah and Nikki tried their hardest, and that's what really matters. This is the worst of the RIOT podcast.
Did you see the 60-second clip that they released yesterday from Aladdin?
No, is that the Will Smith one?
Yes.
Yeah, the dun dun dun
Prince Ali.
Yeah, that. I think I watched it. I think it was what day would that have been? Monday? Monday it came out?
No, I thought it was yesterday.
No, I think I saw it Monday.
Am I really 24 hours behind on that?
It might have been Sunday.
No, that's impossible. That is impossible. There's
look at the date on it.
How could I possibly going through the news?
Yesterday.
Okay, well, I watched it yesterday afternoon because I saw it all over Twitter.
Yeah.
And I don't know, whatever. So I sat down and watched it.
It looks so... There's something off about it, and I don't know what it is.
It is shocking.
I don't know
how bad it looks.
And that was the best one that they're like, yeah, put that one out.
This is the one, guys. This is the one that's going to bring them back.
I don't know. I do not know what is off on it.
It's shocking. First off, it looks, it's not, but it looks so cheap.
Yeah. Well, do you know why? It's so bright.
Yes.
And I think the lighting and the style, like with the costumes, it needed to be a little bit darker to take like the edge off of the fact that it just didn't work.
And, Will Smith, talented performer, like he's got platinum records, like this guy, he international superstar.
But the singing wasn't as good.
It's not very good.
I don't know. I don't know what they're going for.
It's not very good. Now, the one thing that I keep trying to remind myself is, okay, look, if there's an Aladdin stage show.
Sure.
And so if you went to the stage show, it would be a little different. But here, Will Smith is being compared to probably one of the most iconic animated figures.
Voice actor, and just... He's able to do more with his voice.
Robin Williams.
Yeah.
Okay? The guy's legendary. And that character was legendary. If you look, the character of the genie in Aladdin, I mean, you've had 20 years of Aladdin genie ripoffs, or 30 years. I don't know, however long that genie's been around. So you bring in Will Smith to do that, and it's just like, it ain't working.
I don't know. I thought to myself, like, well, maybe the genie doesn't have to, like, be the same type of singer that Robin Williams could have been, and I'm just basing it off of that. So, but I just thought it was just, like we said, it's all off.
I agree with you. Like, it is one of those things going in, it's like, look, it's not going to be like that. It's going to be different. But watching it, I'm like, Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh.
You want to see the whole movie of all that?
Actually,
just to see if it is?
I kind of do. It's one of those things where it's starting to look so bad that I want to know, like, hey. Remember, Disney is the company that, what did they? They had the Solo Star Wars movie that rumor has was like almost completely finished, and they went back and shot most of the movie again.
Yeah.
They were like, this ain't working, let's do it again.
But that was, I think that had more of a name to it, and Aladdin has a name to it, so it's not, but I mean, Star Wars has like it's a series of things. They can't mess that up.
See, my thought is though, like even with Aladdin, like if it was really bad, you would think they'd be like, you know what? We're just going to put this back in the can. We're going to work it a little bit more.
We'll just send it
put
out
it back
later.
in the oven.
I don't know. You could put like a filter on it. Just make it darker. Take some of the brightness off of it.
You know what? To me, that's not going to do it.
You sure?
I'm positive.
You sure?
I'm positive.
It might help a little bit.
I'm positive.
I don't know. So it is next Friday that Aladdin comes out, and it's just not something we're looking forward to.
It looks
But if you're going to see it, let us know how, in the big picture world, how does it turn out? We're only going by the clips.
It looks rough. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's like the best ever.
Could be, and we're not going to give it a chance, and that's our bad.
My bad. But I mean, like, that 60 seconds was about 30 more than I needed.
Friends by Friends Coke Freestyle Machines. We're all friends, right? It's the Riot on RadioU.
Nikki in the news was talking about how NASA is going to put the first woman on the moon in 2024, to which Nikki said out loud and quickly, that won't be me.
That's not me. I'm not going into space. I'm not going to the moon. I'm not doing anything like that.
I like that I have...
Even though I'm a girl and that'll be a girl, I'm not doing it.
Aren't you so excited about all this stuff for womankind?
I am on one side, but then on the other, that sounds so horrific to me to have to go to the moon. It sounds like punishment.
To have to go to the moon.
It does. It sounds like punishment. Like I did something wrong. That is nothing that I'm interested in.
Nikki, if you don't clean your room,
then I'm going to the moon.
You're going to be the first woman on the moon. I'm not going to remind you again.
And if you don't, we're going to turn this car right on up to the moon.
I've got NASA on the phone.
And they're ready for you. I'm not going to.
They're coming right now.
No.
What? I don't understand the strong objection. I think you and the moon would do great.
Space sounds like the most horrible thing that I would have to do.
Okay, finally, you're going to be left alone.
No,
Great.
I'm not. Everybody's watching. There's a lot of pressure. And I like people sometimes being around. I like it on my own terms. And that's not my own terms. I might not always want too many people around, but that's taking too many away.
You know how you're always cleaning stuff up? Nikki's office is spotless. Space is so empty.
I couldn't handle that.
There's nothing to clean. It'll just be like, it's so ordered.
I know there's space junk up there. There's space trash.
Not once you get out of...
I got condo space. Is that what I got to do because I'm a woman? You got to take me up there to clean up?
No, once you get out of Earth orbit and you get out into, like, between the Earth and the moon, dude, there's nothing there.
I don't want to go.
That's actually the part that I think would be psychologically crushing,
hardest.
Is the idea that there's nothing outside of you. You've spent your whole life surrounded by something.
Yeah.
And so the idea that outside of your spaceship, your capsule is nothingness. Whoa.
And to me, I'm like not really claustrophobic, but just the thought of being enclosed in this space where you can't go anywhere. And if you had to go somewhere, you're not going anywhere fast. Like you can't just come down. It's going to take a while.
Yeah.
You can't just do that. And I don't like it.
Aren't all long trips like that?
They feel like that. Yeah, I know. I've been on some plane rides where you're like, am I ever getting out?
See,
but it was me and like 100 other people on this plane. I am not going to space.
All right. Well, they say the last person to walk on the moon was in 1972. No woman has ever walked on the lunar surface. Now, I don't want anybody to take this the wrong way, but does anybody else feel like NASA is just like, listen, we got to find a way to get people excited?
Pretty much.
Do you guys see how excited they were about Captain Marvel? Because they were like...
she's a girl.
She's a girl. So we're going to try to get some of that girl power Captain Marvel thing over here.
Well, NASA,
for the space program.
I hate to tell you, but you don't have one person here, so that's a no from this side. From this captain to them, that's a no.
I think you should go.
What, are
you going to let it just be a bunch of men on the moon?
Bye-bye. Have a good time.
Is that what you're going to do?
Yeah, that's fine.
You need to get up there and boss them around.
Do not.
Tell them what to do.
Don't need to go to the moon.
All right.
Never, ever, ever.
You know what, Nikki? There are a lot of girls listening right now that were looking for a role model.
Okay, then I take it. I'll step one step back and go, I support anyone who wants to go to the moon. That's just not my calling in life, so I can't.
But you can.
But you totally can.
Believe in
and
the
don't
power.
you let anyone tell you anything differently. You can totally do it. All right. Now, is that better?
My mom and dad always said Billy could go to the moon, but I had to go to the kitchen. Not anymore.
No, you can go if you want, but I am not. I will help you from down here.
Billy went to astronaut camp, and I went to home ec camp.
What was wrong with that?
Believe in the power of your dreams. Nikki would rather go to home ec camp than astronaut camp.
No, I don't want to go to camp at all.
You're going to camp.
I don't need to pick one.
Great. Now there's a whole other question. I've got a whole other problem here.
Oh, I just can't.
No space camp for you, Nikki.
Just remember, I have that disorder where you just can't tell me what to do. So please don't tell me I have to go to camp. Thank you very much.
The worst podcast with the best listeners. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Yesterday, we found out that Disney is taking control of Hulu.
Which is very weird. I guess I just didn't see that one coming.
Mm-hmm. So it has, let's see. They something partnered with Comcast. Comcast is giving up their 3 seats on Hulu's board. But like they have some sort of a stock deal with Disney, et cetera, et cetera. And so literally Disney now has control of Hulu and 20th Century Fox, because Fox also had some kind of an interest in Hulu. And so Disney says they're going to use Hulu to showcase some of their more adult content.
Which I guess for Disney means like...
They said The Americans, which they now own because of the Fox deal, and American Horror Story. Those are their 2 examples of adult content
that they had
that they'll be pushing towards Hulu. At some point, we end up with, what do you think? Hulu Plus? Get Disney Plus and Hulu for one low price.
No,
blah, 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 blah.
Eventually they're going to have to merge that all together. It'll
just
be
one
too,
thing.
it'll be too messy. I could see that not happening right now, but over time, I'm sure it will. It'll just fold into it.
Remember how much fun it was when you were a kid to hang out with somebody just a little bit older than you were, a little bit wiser, that could do some more, but could also show you what to do and how to do it? Disney's new Big Brother service.
Is that coming soon?
Mm-hmm.
Big Brother Plus.
Remember,
you got to add the plus.
Underneath Big Brother's mustache, he's smiling at you and watching you the whole time. It's so wonderful. So that's the word. Disney now controlling everything.
So they have the content control over Hulu.
Yep.
That's how it's phrased.
Yep. It's crazy. That is crazy. Like, I mean, there was a time when I was like, this is neat because these movies are good. And now I'm like, hey, I don't even like Hulu, but leave them alone.
It takes away all the competition. It's just like your internet and how you can't have enough competition in your neighborhood. There's not enough. And then before you know it, Disney will be the only one left.
It's kind of like there's a bully in your school, but then like if somebody else is bullying them, you're like, you leave them alone. That's not exactly spot on, but it's a thing.
To you, that's how that is.
Disney, you leave Hulu alone. Too late. They're one of you. One of us.
When life is this good, you don't need a vacation. So get back to work. It's The Riot on RadioU.
You guys ever like those scenes in movies, where the fire alarm goes off or the ghost alarm, whatever alarm, and you see everybody like scrambling to get to their positions. They're putting their fireman stuff on, like, they take off out. It's all that kind of chaos and stuff. I mean, those are the exciting parts, Nikki. You get a montage, people getting ready to go out and
fight,
make it happen.
Do whatever they need to do.
Scramble the fighters. And then you see the pilots running off and all that stuff. Well, a lot of people like those parts in movies. But you know where they're even cooler? Real life.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And that's where Terrence M. King Jr., he's 22. He loves seeing those parts. And so he went ahead and he called in 10 fake officer down phone calls to 911.
That's not what you do.
because he says that he liked watching the emergency crews respond.
Scramble and do all that.
Yeah. And he said that if you say that a police officer's been shot, they do way more than if, it was just something else.
I mean, I guess some people probably get away with these things, but if you're calling and calling back and calling again, like they're going to eventually figure out who you are or what number you're at.
Mm-hmm. So he had done it a couple of times. He called in a couple of fake bomb threats. He kept calling from his house.
That's the part where I don't think he gets it. Like, they can tell what your number is. And he's got a home number?
He kept using his name. But he's using different names.
But they still know the number?
Come on. He called one in as Antoine. Another one in as Hootie. And
I like that one.
He, apparently thought that they wouldn't figure it out. But when they finally presented it, his answer was just that he liked it. Thought it was cool.
Not good enough.
I watched this little kid one time sit and watch a construction thing all day. He thought it was like the coolest thing. And that's this. He's just like, you know what? He's probably going to, I'd say he's going to grow up and be a cop, but he's 22. So like
that age, you should have already started that.
It's time.
Oh, it might be too late. Well, you never know though. Maybe he can get his act together.
So let's see, $2,500. It's a $25,000 bail, but he only has to put up $2,500.
Usually 10% of it.
And he's going to be confined to his apartment with electronic monitoring.
Don't let him stay there. That's where he was calling from.
Well,
he won't be able to fight it.
I don't think he's allowed to use the phone. He lost his phone. He's being sent to his room, and they're taking his phone.
Privileges.
I mean, in fairness, it seems like a good idea, but wow, that's awesome.
Well, I also feel like should this be a lesson learned, everybody? But I don't know if most of us would ever think like we would know. Don't call the police and do that, and we know they'd be able to figure your number out. So I don't even feel like this is a lesson learned.
Nikki, someone needed it.
Well, he did, but I don't think he's been listening to us.
Terrence needed to learn these lessons. And, there could be some more Terrences right now listening to this show that didn't understand how it worked. The closest I feel I've ever gotten to this is that thing where, you order a pizza and send it to somebody's house.
Yeah, but that's different than saying there's an officer down.
I know, but the thing is, I always just sent the pizza to my house, and I love watching them get out of the car and come up to the door.
And even that, we can do that now.
And then with that part where they hand you the pizza, that's one of my favorite parts of the whole thing.
That's a rush right there.
And then I just go inside, and then I really like the part where you're eating it.
That's something to watch.
Sweet.
Okay.
It's so awesome.
See, this guy needed to learn that you can still have those fun emotions, that rush.
Yep.
But you just have to...
Got to redirect.
Yeah, redirect it to the pizza way.
Yeah. We should get a pizza. Let's make some phone calls.
If you're looking for all the funny moments you missed during the riot, we apologize. You won't find them here. There weren't any. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
The table is big and there's room for everybody. And here's the part that I struggle with sometimes, Nikki, is that I have people in my life that are like, they're winners.
Yeah.
Like they get up in the morning and they're just like, man, we're going to tear in today and we're going to make some things happen. And I've spent time with them, and the kind of stuff that I say sarcastically, they're saying it for real.
They're actually saying it.
With a sincere heart, where they're just like, I cannot wait to get this started.
Some people are like that.
I envy them so much.
Well, they have things, I'm sure, that they must envy you about.
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. Because, what's really weird is how, they have a physique that goes with their attitude. So, they're beautiful.
Positive mind, positive body.
Yes. There are men and women that are beautiful, intense, all this stuff. And, I don't have any of those things. And so when I have a tendency to talk about God, I have a tendency to talk about, the kind of stuff that I deal with. The kind of where I'm I'm desperate to stay in bed, pull the covers over my head. I'm depressed. I'm inadequate. Whatever it is. But I want you to know there's room at the table for everybody. For me, God does certain things for me that really do have a lot to do with me being depressed, that have to do with, different things in life that I struggle with, whatever. But just because you hear me talk about it and you're like, bro, you just need some help or something. I don't know. God is there for you too. all the different kinds of people. There's not a kind of person where God's like, oh, you're not enough like that person. You don't get me.
You don't get to come to the table.
So look, when you hear me talk about God and you think, oh, I'm not like Obadiah, give me a break. I want you to know that God is huge and he really does have room for everybody. So if you hear me talk about it and you're like, well, I don't really need that. Think more in terms of what is it in your life that you do need? What are those spaces that for you, don't work? Maybe you're one of those perfect people and I just can't see your flaws because your perfection shines so brightly. I mean, but
it's possible.
You see your flaws. I want you to know that God wants to be there for you. And if you're somebody like me that right now wishes they could just disappear from life almost altogether, it's fine. God can be there for you too. Listen, if you want to have a relationship with God, wherever you are, whatever it's about, you can just ask him to come in. And I have found that God is almost like the Swiss Army knife of life. That dude's got a tool to take care of every situation. Just say, Jesus, I need that. I need you in my life. I need you to fill me with your spirit. Today, here's what's happening. And you know what? Just talk to God. Take some time to listen to him. 5 minutes with God could rearrange your whole day.
Mornings are for coffee and contemplation.
Chief, she's...
Coffee and contemplation.
And the riot. Obviously. RadioU.
T-minus 6 days and counting. I'm really looking forward to buying something new that I can put on a shelf and let dust gather.
Woo! What do you want to buy?
I'm going to get the new Oculus Rift.
That's right.
6 days away. And I'm going to prove once again that happiness isn't in things.
I saw yesterday, I was doing something on Facebook, and like the little sections on the side, the left-hand side, there was the Oculus one.
Come on.
I was like, I kept thinking about you.
You should get it, Nikki.
No, I'm fine. But I want to see you first with yours.
Yeah, okay. I think that you're a great candidate for the Oculus Quest.
Sometimes, though, virtual reality stuff will give me too much of a headache.
Yeah.
So I don't think I'm ready to jump into it yet.
Well,
a little motion sensitive.
Nikki, I just want you to know that I feel like Jesus wants you to get one.
Is that what you're trying to pull?
Because Jesus has a new movie out.
He does, and it's in virtual reality.
Real talk. Real talk. So if you're...
I don't know about this. I don't know what to think.
If you're looking for a real strong excuse.
Well, that's seems like the excuse you try to get your mom or dad to buy it
Mom,
for you.
Jesus is on it.
Like, that's how you get it. And you should have been trying that back at Easter time.
No, it's real. It actually, if I'm reading this correctly, it came out today. It's one of the first things like feature-length films to be done completely in virtual reality. It's called 7 Miracles, and it covers the 7 miracles that Jesus performs.
The 8th being you got an Oculus?
No, that's actually the 7th miracle. And at the end of it, it's like, and you got your mom to buy you a Rift.
That should be the appropriate ending. That might not actually be in the movie.
It's not actually, but the idea is it's like $20, and it's not available on Steam or through Oculus or whatever. There's another service out there called Vive. I think it's Viveport, actually, and it's run by HTC, but they sell games. They have like a Netflix for VR games thing set up, and then they're also selling this through Vive Studios. I believe it to be their first ever feature-length thing, and one of the few feature lengths, because there are VR films out there, but a lot of them are like 10 minutes, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
This is
70 minutes.
70 minutes, and it's 7 parts, so it's like 7 10-minute episodes, or you can watch it all together as one thing. But basically, you're watching a movie that you can look around in. I'm really curious about it. Even people that aren't necessarily Jesus fans are saying that it technologically, it's a very cool thing to get a chance to see.
So it looks like $20 with, did you say, is it Viveport?
Viveport, yeah.
Viveport, or $10 on Google Play.
Yeah. So, oh, wait, really?
Yeah.
Okay, but I'm wondering, I'll have to look at that, because if it's only $10 on Google Play, I'm wondering how I get that into my Oculus. But
Don't know, but it's cheaper there.
And, Nikki, Do you think the Lord would want me to save $10?
I think you would.
I mean,
because you could put that towards your next purchase.
Is that being a good steward?
I think it is.
So, Mom,
you go take your $10 to church.
Mom, I need $410.
You're like, what's the $10 for?
Tax.
Don't ask. It's fine.
Plus tax. Because we need to see this thing. The thing here. And can I get $20 for Beat Saber too?
Something to work on.
Because I mean, physical training is of some value.
That's exercise.
Yeah.
And your mom wants you to do that this summer.
But see, that's what you're doing is you're like, Mom, look, body and spirit.
Training the whole thing.
I'm training everything.
If you guys need help with your parents, just please contact us. We'll be happy to speak on your behalf.
We'll look and we'll send them this link. Hey, Mom, are you listening right now? I'm calling you later.
Dear RadioU, when I was a kid, my parents sent our dog to live on a farm in the country where he could run and play all day. I could ask them for the address if you need somewhere to send the Riot. It's the worst of the Riot on RadioU.
Nikki, have you ever sold a car privately?
Yes.
You have?
Yes, I have.
That can be a little scary. And you're like, well, why? Because, you're setting, I sold my old CRV and I ended up selling it on Craigslist.
Yeah.
And so it shouldn't have been that big of a deal. Like I had my asking price, person showed up and they wanted to take a test drive. You don't know them.
Yeah.
So you're not going to just let them take the keys and drive.
That's why they're supposed to leave their keys or their driver's license and stuff.
That's what I should have done.
Yeah.
But instead I just got in the car with them.
Oh, you could also do that too.
And let them drive.
To your death. I mean, you're worried about it, but...
I wasn't until we got in and we're in a 35.
Uh-huh.
And she slams on the accelerator and took my CRV to almost 90.
Ooh, in a 35?
And I actually said to her, I was like, hey, this is a 35. And she's like, well, I need to know how it's going to...
Ooh.
And it was like, okay.
Let's just finish this up. Was she the one who bought it, though?
She was.
Yeah.
But I literally thought, I'm like, I just got in the car with a complete stranger, handed them the keys. What if she's always wanted to die but didn't want to die alone? And I actually had that thought. I was like, if this lady decides she just wants to, hang left to center and hit somebody head on, I don't know who she is. She could be a certified nutcase. This could be it. She's like, I've always wanted to die with Obadiah. I don't know.
It is hard. I used eBay Motors when I sold mine, but it's been quite a few years.
Maybe a better choice.
Well, you just feel like everything's going to be a scam because now anytime you sell anything online, your responses back from everybody are almost always scams.
Well, you know what? It went pretty well. She, of course, wanted to pay a little less. We negotiated a little bit. Let it go. A couple days later, met her at the DMV, signed the title over, et cetera, et cetera. German police right now are looking for somebody in Dusseldorf who had a...
Dusseldorf.
Good Dusseldorf, man. Very similar experience.
Someone took the car out.
A guy's advertising a car, and he says, hey, you know what? You want to take it for a test drive? Yeah, of course. Well, of course, I'm going to ride with you. And when they were getting out to go around... He handed the keys to the guy. The guy just got in the car and just
left.
took off. Yeah. It was a Ferrari 288 GTO.
Ooh, how could you not?
Which is worth about $2.2 million. And the guy just took off. I feel
like you need a way bigger vetting thing for then who is going to even be test driving the Ferrari. Why are you selling that on your own? It feels like you need to have some sort of company that's doing that for you.
Or maybe you don't want to deal with, the 10% that you would lose in selling the car through an auction house.
It's going to be a lot of money, but you at least have the car.
Just a heads up, they can't find it. It's been missing for 3 days. They still can't find the car.
What if this guy, it's just his elaborate insurance thing? He got it stolen. He knows who took it.
Maybe.
Could be that, too.
You know what, Nikki? It's very possible. It's interesting to me that you immediately
automatically
jump to insurance fraud.
Yeah, well, I think that when you're trying to sell a car that is that expensive, what if you can't find a buyer? What if he's been trying? It's like the lower people's car price when you try to set your car on fire to get rid of it.
Yeah.
It's like that.
I could do that?
I think you can. I mean, they're going to doubt you, but...
Get a new car?
Whee!
Who's Listen, officer, I don't know what happened. This guy came by on a motorcycle. I was outside on the ground tying my shoe, and he threw a Molotov cocktail right in the car. Up. I'm just thankful that I have my life, okay? Because I almost didn't make it.
So if you're in Dusseldorf...
He had a Mohawk. He was on a four-wheeler. He went that way.
If you're in Germany and you're looking, then they're trying to find this Ferrari.
Mm-hmm. So if you happen to be visiting some family in Dusseldorf and your uncle just happened to have gotten a new Ferrari, he might be the guy.
Could be the person who stole it.
They're looking for him.
One of the only things left that isn't owned by Disney. The Riot on RadioU.
And I'll have the number 8. That's a party platter. It serves 12 people. I know what I'm about, son.
The Riot. Food fight.
Nikki.
Have we ever done a beef jerky food fight before?
Never.
First time.
It's never happened before. This is it. So we are proud to bring you our inaugural beef jerky taste test. It's Bridgeford's Sweet Baby Ray's Honey Barbecue Beef Jerky.
Listen to all that. Do you hear all that?
We don't know that it's necessarily new, but
Bailey
sent it to us. I'm pretty sure it's a she, had been telling us that she has been eating that for a while and really wanted us to have some.
We are we don't keep it a secret. We like Sweet Baby Ray's.
Love it.
Different sauces. They got a lot. So when we heard that there was a beef jerky to go along with it, I think that goes back to, remember when we tried the Chick-fil-A dupe sauce thing and we had Sweet Baby Ray's with it? That's when she found out that we like it.
I love it. So I ended up getting, well, actually it was you. Nikki bought me a bottle of Sweet Baby Ray's honey mustard. Now that's friendship, people.
When I'm at Costco and I saw it, they just started carrying the big honey mustard bottle. I was like, well, I know someone who wants one of these too. I couldn't just buy it for myself.
Well, I appreciate that.
Why is this so soft though? Is that from...
Maybe because it's good and you and I just normally buy the leather and eat the leather.
It could be like it's really, 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 really soft. Very soft.
Well, are you right? It smells good.
It does. So this is honey barbecue. Oh, no, I dropped some.
Don't worry. You can lick it off later.
It's fine.
No one has to know.
No one will say anything bad about it.
Okay, it's not really soft.
Mine is totally like it's breaking apart. Honey barbecue?
I taste nothing yet.
Well, it takes a while to get past the jerky part.
Yeah, chew into it. Mm-hmm.
It's good. It's just beef jerky. Would I know that it's Sweet Baby Ray's sauce? Probably not.
Well, now hang on.
Let it swish around in your mouth.
I'll make it ready here.
Really get the flavor of it?
You apparently got like a...
Mine is really soft.
Mine is like... It feels like jerky.
Here, try this one.
Okay.
This one's really soft, too.
Reaching.
There. See how soft it is?
Very different than what I have.
You just got to pick the right pieces.
Mm-hmm.
That's good, though.
It's delicious.
Man, beef jerky for breakfast is a good idea.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no, I can taste it.
There's a very strong aftertaste with the sauce, and that's good.
A lot of times what I get, I can't remember the brand, but it's their teriyaki beef jerky, and I absolutely love it.
Isn't it always like Jack's or something?
Yep. That's the one. That's the one, and I love it. And this is as good as that. Maybe... just a little bit better.
Yeah.
The taste, like the flavor. A lot of beef jerky, the flavor is almost after, and it's very good.
The honey barbecue. So it's Sweet Baby Ray's. It's there. Well, it's with another company.
It's Bridgeford Sweet Baby Ray's Honey Barbecue Beef Jerky. And Nikki, I'm taking a look here. You could eat this whole bag. It's only 270 calories.
Yeah, but aren't you supposed to be worried about it's the sodium, isn't it?
The sodium. You would be getting 60% of your daily sodium intake.
In one bag or one serving?
In one bag.
In one bag. But
that's not bad.
When you find the soft pieces, those are the best.
Well, yeah.
At least in the bag we had, those are really good.
It's still good. Now, here's my question. When the cameras are off...
Are we going to eat more?
Are you going to keep
I'll take a few more. I don't mind beef jerky. I like it.
I like it.
I think we traditionally have done cereal and like cookie food fights, but we should be branching out. This has shown us we shouldn't just stop at that. We should branch out and to see and make sure, are there any limited edition or flavors in other parts of the grocery store?
I know what you're saying, but I also want to say, I don't want to turn, how we did that cereal fest where for a month it was all cereal?
That wasn't our our fault. Everybody kept sending them in.
I don't want any rattlesnake jerky.
You don't want that?
No, I don't want it.
That or like everybody's sending us all these different types of coffee. That's the other one that's popular to do.
Please send your coffee, care of the Riot, to RadioU.
You may continue to do that.
Yeah, we love that. That's great.
Well, Bailey, thank you so much for thinking of us and sending us. It's the Sweet Baby Ray's beef jerky, and that is good.
Oh, yeah, it is.
I'm not so much mad about what they say. I'm mad that they think any of us want to hear it. It's the worst of the Riot on RadioU.
Okay, Nikki, let's talk about our upcoming live event.
We're doing one in June.
We are, I can't remember the date, but we'll tell you guys when we get closer. But we've talked about options like video games and board games and different things. What if we build a Lego set together?
Okay, that actually might be fun. I love building Lego sets.
Right? So, I mean, it maybe
But how long would it have to be? A smaller one?
That's what I'm saying is I don't know how long it would take, but I see here that Lego has just announced that they're teaming up with Netflix for a Stranger Things playset Lego house.
That could be fun. How many pieces is it, though? Because for the Riot Live event, if you've never watched them, we host them in the evening sometimes, and you can watch on Facebook, and then it goes up to YouTube later. It's so much fun because it's not a show on the radio. It's just basically us hanging out, and you guys can watch and hang out with us. So we do a game night every so often. We were going to do a video game where you can watch us stream something, but we just can't really decide on which game to pick, but a Lego thing might be fun.
So the Lego set would be 2,287 pieces.
That's way too many to get through.
Is it?
I feel like it is.
I don't know. I mean, I haven't...
The biggest one I've done is there's a Lego carousel, and that was killer.
How long did it take?
I blacked out for a few days.
Well, okay, do me a favor. Google the carousel and see how many pieces there were.
Lego carousel.
Because I'm curious. This is... as we were saying, it's the Stranger Things playset.
That was 10,257.
So this is 1/5 the size of that.
Well, then maybe. That took me a couple of days, and I had a bad attitude towards the end, so that also might have hurt.
Because that's what you want with Legos.
Well, it turned to be not fun. You know, it's fun having the Lego carousel, and I even got the little battery thing so it goes around, but it was not fun building it.
Okay, so this is the buyer's house. And, dude, it's got... This I love. It's got 8 minifigures in it, including the 4 kids, the mom, and it's got Chief.
It doesn't look too big. That actually could be. When does it come out, though?
June 1st.
Well, that's before our Riot Live event.
There's only one little problem.
You probably can't get the thing.
Well, that's okay. There's 2 little problems. One, availability. 2, $200.
Ooh, really?
$200.
Wow.
And I'll tell you what, I feel like Lego's hooked on their own stash, if you know what I mean.
My carousel was probably around that, but you're paying for the name at that point.
I can't bring myself to fork out that kind of money. I mean, there are all kinds of Lego sets that I think are really cool, but I'm like, man, come on.
So if you're a Lego VIP member, it ships on today, actually. And then for the rest, it ships on June 1st.
Well, you know me. I'm definitely a...
You're not a VIP member?
VIP.
That is expensive. Can't we just borrow it and just build it and then return it?
Okay. Ryan texted us and said that Adam Savage's Tested channel does that on YouTube where they build Lego sets.
Yeah, they do.
So I actually think that would be great. I just don't know if we have that kind of budget. I know that sounds sarcastic.
No, but
really
not with that
honest.
much money.
Let me put it to you this way. I'm not willing to split it.
No, that is not expected. We're not expecting you to do that.
Oh, my gosh. But, yeah, there you go. So that is a pretty cool thing there. It says Ryan is saying, Ryan, you must be a real Lego guy. He says that you can then sell them used because there's a big market for that.
Now we're getting to work, okay? Our fun Riot game night is really getting to be work.
I mean, what is this, a job?
It's expensive, and then we got to go and sell it, and you never get as much as when you spent money on it, and you got to deal with people who are like, I'll offer you halvesies, and they want to trade, and I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
But we'll see if anybody else has any other ideas or any other Lego sets. It might not be the Stranger Things one, but we could try something else.
I don't want any other ones. I want that one.
Okay.
Sorry, I was.
Right,
it's just I just had a moment.
Sometimes we can't get what we want right away.
What about the Ghostbusters one? That's neat.
That's, I bet, on sale.
Don't want to talk to the Riot? We completely understand. Text instead. 877-2-RADIO-U.
You guys really should have Amazon paying closer attention to your life. I mean, really just dropping in and seeing how things are going.
I bet that'll make things easier. They can just pre-order things, not even those little buttons that are all that. They could just anticipate what we might need next and get it ordered.
It's fantastic. My goal is to have an Amazon listening device in every room of my house.
Not just Amazon. I want all companies to be equally represented.
You put one in the bathroom and it's able to, by the sound of the toilet paper roll, tell that you need more toilet paper. All right. It's able to, by the sound of the milk you're pouring into the cereal, tell how much milk you have left.
If it's empty.
And all of those things. Well, sometime yesterday afternoon, Amazon announced Alexa Guard. So here's the idea. You will program your Alexa devices inside your house, and you'll be able to say, Alexa, I'm leaving. And then Alexa will do a bunch of things that you can ask it to do. It will turn the microphones on all of the Alexas, or all of the Echoes and Echo Dots that you have, which, joke's on you, they're always on. And then it will listen for specific sounds that you can tell it to listen for.
Like breaking glass.
You can have it listen for breaking glass. You can have it listen for your smoke or carbon monoxide detectors. And there are a few different things that you can ask it to do. And then it will alert your smartphone, hey, your smoke detector's going off.
And it'll alert your alarm system if you use, it looks like ADT or Amazon Ring, and that'll set up Alexa Guard with your Echoes.
You'll also be able to use the drop-in feature, which allows you to listen to the audio that's going on inside your house while
you're gone.
You're gone. And let's see, there's one other thing you can do. Oh, you can also program it to, if you say, hey, Alexa, I'm leaving, you don't have to tell it, hey, Alexa, I'm going on vacation. Mm-hmm. But what it will do is it will go ahead and run through all of your smart devices so it can turn on the lights in the house and turn them off, and even turn your TV on and turn it off. So if someone was outside, I guess it would seem like someone was home.
It's interesting. So again, if you use, it seems like they partner with ADT, or if you use Amazon's Ring alarm system, then it can send alerts officially to the police or to the security company. But if not, it's just alerting you, and then you got to go do something about it.
Mm-hmm. That's right. So
I guess it's all right. Is it it's just a setting though, isn't it? Or is it another?
If you have an Echo Dot, you already have this. And if you've got one all over your house,
you already have all of it.
Then you really
have it.
You
just go to settings and then choose Guard, and that's what it is. You set it up there.
That's right.
I think that's a neat way to use the device you already have.
Yep. So
who's here paying for security systems? Anyone anymore? No one really.
Well, you're basically doing all that at home, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, you've got cameras everywhere, and this is everywhere, and that's everywhere,
But it doesn't, for mine, I use security cameras, but they don't directly tie into a security company,
right?
Because that's the ones where you have to pay so much money each month. But then if you get an alert, then it has a call 911 feature on it. So this would be kind of similar.
Okay, that's interesting. So, well, there you go. If you already have this, look, you've got a kind of security system in there, and Amazon's going to...
Amazon's going to keep an eye on all your stuff now.
Amazon hears the sound of breaking glass and orders you a new window.
Look how nice that is. Aren't they the best? They really care about you.
Project 86.
We couldn't help but notice you need a new door lock.
And we also got you a book on how to get over the stress of a break-in.
It's coming now.
The Riot was this close from becoming the absolute worst morning show in radio. Yep, they can't even win at losing. It's the worst of the Riot on RadioU.
Nikki, off air the other day, you and I were talking about how you've been looking for an alternative to the WWE.
Were we really actually having that conversation, or are you making it up?
The thing is, Nikki really likes wrestling, but she feels like the monopoly there is too strong, and she has to spend a lot of time surfing the internet, going through YouTube, trying to find wrestling alternatives to meet her weekly wrestling quota.
Is there anything besides the WWE, or is that it?
See, that they don't want you to think that.
Well, is there? Is there other leagues?
Oh, yeah, it's out there. I mean, like, especially what's interesting.
It's not like sanctioned by them where.
Oh, no.
Is it like baseball where they bring you up or put you back down?
Sometimes stars will go from league to league. There's a lot of there's a whole independent wrestling scene out there where like they just have local shows and people who don't know these other people go to these independent wrestling shows and watch live wrestling. You know what? It's just, I don't understand it. I'm not a part of it. But it's there. I've got a good friend that I said has been looking for some wrestling alternatives. And so I've been trying to help her find the wrestling that she needs.
What did you find?
I found All Elite Wrestling. You know, the AEW?
I've never heard of it.
Well, the AEW just signed a deal with Warner Media that's going to put a weekly wrestling show on TNT. So that means you're getting an opportunity to see all of
something I don't watch on a channel that I don't watch.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Actually, I don't even know if TNT's on my thing that I use for TV.
Well, Nikki, at a very little cost, I can upgrade your tier. So that way I can take you to tier 3 and get you that TNT that you need
that
so
I've been
much.
Missing.
Oh, yeah. Come on.
Even though, listen, if you like wrestling, that's great. It's entertainment.
So let's see. AEW is currently headlined by members of a group known as the Elites. The Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, Cody and Brandy Rhodes, and Hangman Adam Page. Actually, Young Bucks and Kenny Omega are both wrestlers I've heard of. Now, I don't know enough about it to tell you why I've heard those names. Any more than that?
You just know the names.
Well, you know what it is? There's actually a podcast I listen to where the guys talk about video games with their huge wrestling fans, and my eyes glaze over when they start talking about it. But that's another thing. I've been trying to get Nikki to listen to their wrestling podcasts because I feel like they're kindred spirits.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty exciting. I'll make sure we get our TNT subscriptions ready.
For the
AEW.
AEW.
Oh, yeah. So it sounds kind of...
Made up what?
Well, AEW sounds really close to A&W.
I know, doesn't it? I thought that too. I was like, a root beer. I haven't had a root beer in ages.
I'll just tell you, if that sponsorship deal hasn't come through, the AEW brought to you by the A&W.
They used to be these A&W restaurants. Do you remember those?
Yeah,
and
there is still one around here. Or at least...
I thought they were just back in Canada. Like, that was it.
No. I really think there's one.
We had some, and then they closed down.
But you know what they don't have that they used to have? Is they used to have these fried corn dog bites.
Oh, I remember those things. That was good.
And they don't have them. Yep, there's one. Because there's one. It's not like by my house, but I could see it on my drive if I wanted to. But I don't.
Okay. So no wrestling.
There's a Dunkin' Donuts down there too. So I mean, like,
but you're going to that.
All the thing. No, I'm just saying, like, there's this little area of town where all the things that aren't near me, I can go through there and get them.
They're still there
if I need to.
With virtual reality, the possibilities are endless. It gives us the ability to live out any of our wildest dreams. So maybe we can use it to pretend the riot doesn't exist. The Riot on RadioU.
You want to talk breakfast sandwiches?
You know what, Nikki? I want to eat breakfast sandwiches.
So you have to hear about them first.
I know. You have to know about the sandwich before you can eat the sandwich.
Not just for breakfast sandwiches, but it seemed like the new trend with a lot of restaurants, fast food and casual, is the Impossible Burger. It tastes like meat, but it's not meat.
I can't believe it's not meat.
Basically so. So the Impossible one is what Burger King has picked up on and quite a few other places. Well, there's another. The competition to the Impossible one is called Beyond Meat. And it's the same thing. It's not meat, but it tastes like it.
No, it's meat from the beyond.
So it's rival companies, right?
Somebody accidentally opened up a portal to another realm where they had
pretty much
meat.
So Beyond Meat is the one that has not been picked up as much by these bigger companies, but it finally has like its first pickup.
Why do you think it's not getting picked up?
I think out of the others, the Impossible Burger had a lot more press and push towards it. And Burger King, that's the one that they're using, and a few others. But Tim Hortons is now selling the Beyond Meat breakfast sandwiches for their sausages instead of, yes, in Canada. It's not in America. It's just in Canada.
Man, I'll tell you what. It just solidifies my Canada plans for this summer.
So 3 of its breakfast sandwiches will have the option for the Beyond Meat breakfast sandwich, and that is at select locations in Canada. No news if that will go into the United States at all.
Man,
It'll be
you know
a
what?
Beyond Meat breakfast sandwich, which is like a sausage-aged McMuffin, a farmer's breakfast wrap, and a vegan sandwich option, which does not have egg or cheese.
I don't imagine vegan Canadians. Those people are from Quebec. But like other Canadians,
Not
they're
from Calgary.
they're out there eating meat all the time. They just eat a
More
moose.
exotic one. So this I did
Drinking
not know.
maple syrup and eating moose. That's how I see Canadians.
I didn't know this. Tim Hortons, which is doing the Beyond Meat, and Burger King, which in the United States has the Impossible Foods.
Yeah.
They own each other.
Okay.
They do.
I mean, Nikki, I don't like words like ownership and relationships.
Well, they're owned by the same company. Burger King, Tim Hortons, Popeyes, and like a few other are a part of Restaurant Brands International. So they call them sister restaurants.
Because like Tim Hortons and Wendy's broke up, right?
They did a long time ago.
Yeah,
Wendy's
okay.
used to own Tim Hortons. They bought them for a while, and then that was it.
And then Tim was like, you know what? I just can't handle how jealous you are all the time.
So they went to somebody else.
I'm going to have to go see someone else.
So that was it. If you're a Tim Hortons fan in Canada and you like the Beyond Meat stuff, then you've got 3 sandwiches coming.
What do you? Well, let me ask you. Like, have you had any of this stuff?
No, I mean, I used to be a vegan, which you would think I would be the one to go running. But I remember Burger King's first take into like a vegetarian burger, which was not always the best. But I have not had the Impossible one yet.
Okay. Well, I am curious. I mean, I like at its core, I don't have an objection to it if it's good.
And for me, the one thing to remember is sometimes people get confused. They get confused that they think a vegan option has like less calories and is
it's
healthier.
not diet. Yeah, it's not.
It's not diet.
Sometimes it's worse.
It can have more. It's just which do you prefer, animal wise for that reason.
Well, I mean, if you're telling me an animal had to suffer for me to get less calories, like it's fine.
So that's what's at Tim Hortons if you're a fan of that.
Someone just got really mad.
Just
It's a
ignore him.
joke.
This
It was
is
a
what he
joke.
does.
I was
Don't-
just saying.
Just ignore him.
It was a
It's all he
joke.
does.
Just what I like. I like to dig at people, which is not a good character quality. And one day
Can count as a flaw.
I'll either A, stop, or B, someone will summarily execute me for my insolence. Whatever.
The worst of the riot is over, but the fun can keep going.
Hey, I saw you checking out my goods.
Check the Riot blog or stalk us on social media
You want to sample them? A little try before you buy, huh?
through riot.radiou.com.
If you're telling me an animal had to suffer for me to get less calories, like it's fine.